gentlemen, welcome back to the Lakeland Vale Let's Play series here in Farming Simulator 19 with me, CWATTYESO. The chickens have almost completely filled up their egg area again. A lot of eggs. Should we go check on the sheep, see how they're doing very quickly at the start of this new episode. Dolores hasn't got any contract work at the minute. We've not taken any contracts, or at least I don't think we've taken any contracts. Let's have a look at the old map. We got planted over here then. Field 6. I was going to look at a new feature, a brand new feature of the game that's been added by the latest global company update. I was going to have a quick look at putting that into use today. However, I'm wondering what this farmer has planted over here on field 6, because that was part of my plan, was maybe to use field 6, but I think this guy has probably done me wrong. I think he's probably planted flipping potatoes. He has planted flipping potatoes. I mean, that's not a terrible problem. Obviously, it takes a long while to harvest potatoes. And seeing as I already own a field with potatoes, I don't necessarily know if I want to own field 6 then with potatoes. Not so much own it, but basically there's a new feature within Global Company that now allows you to rent and lease fields. So rather than having to fork out $1 million every time Dolores wants to add a new field to the farm, we can rent a field and pay a daily fee whilst we own that field. So this guy's currently growing sunflowers here on field 21. So if we open up the menu thingy for Global Company, we now have this wonderful map. So field 21, leasing. Yes, we pay 13,000 a day whilst we lease that field. 13,000 a day. However, what it means is also let's have a look at the composting plant. I got loads of stuff in it or not? It hasn't, but I could fill it, the composting plant, with materials for 78,000. Might as well do that. Start doing some compost. Don't think we've got anything at the organic fertilizer at the minute. We haven't. But if we come out of the menu and go back into the new screen, field 21 is now ours. Now there is a little bit of a bug with this, with the leasing, which some people may exploit. You could actually sell the field and you would get the actual field value. So the 600,000 bucks or whatever that field costs, you could sell it via this screen. However, you would still technically be leasing it within Global Company, and you would still be paying that 13 grand a day, but you would lose access to the field. So this guy has planted sunflowers on this field. However, he's not done any kind of fertilizer application to the field, which means poor old Dolores here is going to have to spend the first part of today doing some fertilizing. Now, have we got liquid fertilizer, or have I just got loads of herbicide? Let's find out. I don't know. 'Cause, 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 Let us find out. So yeah, originally what my plan was, before I advanced and slept through the night, my original plan was that I was going to lease field 6, because field 6 had nothing on it. We'd recently harvested that field. We'd done a contract on that field. It was harvested and it was sitting there, and I was like, you know what, that would make sense for me to lease that field at a tiny little cost. And because obviously I've got these 5 fields, so I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. But then the guy's gone and planted potatoes on that field and basically messed up my life. Messed it up for me. Let's see if we've got any more liquid fertiliser in this machine. Oh, we have. Good. We'll get it. We'll fertilise field 21. We're probably not going to get a great massive yield of sunflowers off of it, because somehow the guys managed to plant the field without ever putting fertiliser down. But no fertiliser at all, yet it's growing. So I may have to fertilise that field twice. Right. Couple of things. 0 and 80 degrees. Perfect. Auto whip. Perfect. Back. Perfect. So we can spray this field. All going to be magic. But one of the things I have been thinking about with this series, having obviously spent a bit of time earlier today, I've been playing multiplayer today already with Mr. Helgi, and I was talking about the fact that originally today, on Sunday the 10th of May, when I got up, my original plan today was to spend a day on this map playing and doing Lakeland Vale stuff, recording videos for YouTube. Because as I record this episode, I have only got videos scheduled on YouTube for the coming week. I think Friday is the last day that I have got videos. And I've got no more recorded, I've got nothing to edit. So this will be Saturday's video. This will be next Saturday's video as I'm recording this. And I was saying to Mr. Helgi that it's getting a bit problematic, because obviously some of the contracts I've done recently, like the harvesting, like the potato planting, they take a lot of time to do in real life. I'm having to sit here and spend several hours doing and completing those contracts. Time that is not being put into, that's not being recorded, it's not being put into videos. It's kind of time that's happening in between videos. And I'm basically, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, the amount of time that I've been playing on this map, playing on this save game, has been ridiculous compared to the amount of actual video footage that I've got, the amount of episodes that I've managed to get recorded, because I'm having to do so much stuff to advance the game to be in a position where I can record a video, because obviously I don't want every video to just be me doing the same thing. Nobody wants to watch that, and it gets a bit boring if all I'm doing every video is harvesting or seeding or whatever, you know. If it's just, and I'm on the same field and it's literally, you know, 3 videos, 3 half an hours of me seeding the same field. You know, like the potato contract would have been. Nobody would have wanted to have watched that. So I tried to do bits, and then obviously I tried to do enough stuff to advance the game that we can do and see some other bits and pieces, and we get a bit more variety. But the problem with that is that I'm just not getting the videos recorded. So at the moment, I've been releasing a video every single day. Every morning at 9 AM, a video for Lakeland Vale has gone live on the YouTube channel. What I might do is change the schedule and upload a video every other day. So instead of getting 7 videos a week, you're only going to get 3, possibly 4. And what that does is that probably frees me up. It takes a little bit of pressure, it takes a bit of the pressure off me, and will also give me a bit more time to get stuff recorded and get videos recorded, and again build up a bit of a stockpile, get a few episodes in front. It also means that on the days that I'm not uploading Lakeland Vale to the channel, I might upload another game instead. I might be able to play and record something else instead and upload. There are still there's still some Jurassic World Evolution that I need to go back and finish off, that I started playing at the beginning of the year, and then I got completely derailed on that series because I got sick. Software Inc. won't make a comeback to the channel because unfortunately with Software Inc. The developer keeps updating that, and every time he updates it, he breaks more and more stuff in the game. Honestly, he should go and work for the company that makes Call of the Wild, because they have a similar mentality. Every time they update the game, they break more than they actually fix. So I won't be going back to Software Inc. But what I would like to bring back to the YouTube channel is maybe some truck sim, American truck sim, Seymour Butts. Remember good old Seymour Butts that I did a few videos back on a while back? Yeah. I've done some live streams with him. I've done some live streams on Twitch doing trucking contracts and doing trucking. And it may be a case that I need to just record some trucking videos instead that I can just put out there. The problem with that is the trucking videos tend to get very long very quickly, because the contracts that I do, or the jobs that I get offered now in that game, are normally sort of one side of the map to the other contracts, and they take you about 2.5 hours to 3 hours real time to complete, which in terms of game time is about a week. It takes you about a week in game. Your guy has to sleep multiple times because he's traveling across multiple days. But they're the sort of videos that I can just record, whack up on the channel, and people can either watch them or not. Because obviously the big problem is there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many hours in the day, and there's a lot of hours where obviously I am playing multiplayer farm sim. I'm playing on the server. We've uploaded the new map this week. We've got Fenton Forest up there on the server currently. And obviously having to spend a bit of time on that at the moment whilst we're getting the map started, getting everything in place, whilst we're fixing a lot of the bugs that you don't find and realise until you actually start trying to play the game. Since uploading the map, I have found a few bugs that have forced me to basically go in and edit some mods, edit the map, re-upload mods, re-upload the map. But, you know, these things happen all the time when you're running a server. It's nothing new, but when it comes to, obviously, Stevie's maps tend to be massive file sizes, you know, getting close to a gig. So every time you've got to download that map, edit it, and re-upload it, that's obviously a massive time sink, a massive amount of time. And like I say, we've been playing that, and of course, with it being the 4X map, it's kind of important to play it when the other players are playing it, because if you get stuck on the map on your own, everything becomes very hard work. So of course, today I woke up this morning and thought to myself, I'm going to spend the day playing on Lakeland Vale, getting episodes recorded. I then sat at my computer and noticed that Mr. Helgi was on the server, and I was like, I best go play with Mr. Helgi. So as of right now, I've literally spent the whole of today playing Farm Sim on the server with Mr. Helgi. until Mr. Helgi decided he needed to go and take a break and do something else. Now that's fine, because you know Mr. Helgi, he'll go off and play other games. He'll go off and play SnowRunner, he'll go off and play Factorio, he'll go off and play Euro Truck or Call of the Wild or whatever games takes his fancy, Elite Dangerous, whatever games he plays besides Farm Sim, Mr. Helgi will go off and play those. For me, who obviously kind of specialises a bit now in Farm Sim, if I've spent, you know, 4 or 5 hours of my day playing Farm Sim already, I don't necessarily then kind of want to come onto another map and try and actually then start trying to record videos, because you get a little bit burnt out on the game if you play it for too many. You play it excessively, I think was the word Mr. Helgi used today. If you play it excessively in a day, you know, if you start playing a game 10 or 12 hours a day, it starts to get a little bit boring for you, and you start to get a bit tired of it. And I don't want to get tired of the game, and I don't want to get tired of the series, but obviously right now, if I'm playing the server and putting as many hours into the server, I'm not putting those hours into this map in this series, which is obviously causing me the problem with the videos and the fact that I haven't got any more to upload at the minute. I said to Mr. Helgi that what I really need to do is find a way to be able to like duplicate myself, to split myself in two, and then have one of me on another PC just recording the Lakeland stuff, and then the other one of me on another PC streaming the multiplayer stuff, and then it would work. But, you know, I can't do that, unfortunately. I don't have a twin. So I've got to do everything by myself. But the good thing is, we are still steadily making progress. And I've also fixed another issue that I was having in the game. You know, I was having a bit of a problem in recent episodes where I'd be working a field like this, I'd activate my cruise control, I'd sit back to obviously talk to you guys and tell you a story or something, and then the tractor would just keep stopping all on its own for no reason. I actually figured out the problem. It was because my steering wheel, it was because I had my steering wheel plugged in. Or more to the point, the pedals on my steering wheel plugged in. Every so often, I think they sent like a phantom signal to the PC that they were being pressed, even though I wasn't pressing them. And it would keep turning off the cruise control. So I unplugged the wheels from the pedal. The pedals from the wheel. I unplugged those the other day. Problem was resolved. Problem was fixed. I then thought to myself, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just unplug the wheel as well. So I unplugged the wheel from the USB port on the computer. However, when I logged into Farm Sim today, and Mr. Helgi will confirm this, when I was on the when I went onto the server, none of my buttons worked. None of my controller buttons were working. And I was like, that's a bit weird. Things like GPS, I couldn't activate GPS. I couldn't fast forward or slow down time. And when I went into my key bindings had all been reset. And I've got a funny feeling it's because I've unplugged the steering wheel. Mr. Helgi says, oh, have you unplugged your controller at all? I was like, no, I've never unplugged my PC controller. My PC controller is always plugged in. The only time my PC controller has ever been unplugged is when I disconnected my broken one last year and threw it in the bin and plugged this new one in. That's the only time it's been unplugged in recent history for any reason. But it seems that by unplugging my steering wheel, the game has decided to reset all my key bindings on my controller. So I've gone through today whilst I was on stream and reprogrammed all my guidance, steering, GPS controls and things like that. But if there's any other controls that I forgot, I'm probably not going to notice those until I come to need them at some point. I mean, other things work, like the growth control. I can still access growth control perfectly fine. That's no problem. That works. So that's not a problem for me. It's just some of the other stuff, you know. It's a bit oddball. Tell you one thing I am going to do though this year. Now, obviously based on recent videos in the series, this sprayer, I'm probably going to get rid of this sprayer. I would probably like to invest in the Case Patriot sprayer for doing my fertilising and herbicide spraying. I think that would be very good. I think that would be very useful. And also my Bradle there, my Bradle for doing the lime and normal fertiliser spreading. I would be kind of tempted to get rid of that and get a Terrogator and do the lime and normal fertiliser spreading with a Terrogator. Or I decide not to use normal fertiliser at all for fertilising, and instead, if I go down the keep the Bradle for lime applications, but still get a Terrogator, but get the Terrogator with the manure. The manure attachment, so I can actually spread the compost that I've just started to manufacture on the map, on my fields instead, when they've been harvested, before they're ploughed and cultivated. I was also looking at maybe when I was thinking of leasing, when I saw the leasing thing, I thought about leasing this field here. I did. But unfortunately, this guy has gone and planted cotton on the field, and Dolores ain't ready for cotton yet. She's not ready for doing cotton. At some point, I've got to go into that pen because obviously I'm going to need to get that straw out of that pen. We'll give them some water. I think the horses are doing okay. They're up to 27,000 bucks, as we've obviously already mentioned. So they're going up in value quite nicely. However, there's not a lot left to do today. Now I've sprayed that field. So I think the next step is to get the trailer go grab our pallet trailer and get the eggs loaded up. There's a couple of other little bits and pieces as well that I've kind of been thinking about. Mod things. There's some mods that I've added to the series and I don't know if I'm going to actually keep using them, because I put them on the server and they cause me problems. Things like this stuff here, look. Well, not so much this stuff, which is part of the straw harvest add-on, but I think some of this stuff, the net wrap and pallet twine, I'm not sure if that clashes with the straw harvest add-on, because on the server when we had that stuff we had a problem whereby we couldn't actually fill the straw harvest baler. It would fill with twine, it would eat the twine out of the pallets, but it would never show us actually having any in it. It would always be showing as empty. So, and it wouldn't bail. So I had to remove those mods, and then Straw Harvest add-on started working again. So I don't know if there's a conflict with that. And also there is, if I go back into the right menu, in the placeables menu, I think DD Mod Passion has done some other bits and pieces as well. He's done like pallets of pig food, oat, wheat, seed, fertilizer and stuff that you can buy and place anywhere on the map. Now I was using those to do that potato contract the other day. However, discovered a slight issue with it, and it's the same with any of these pallets as well that you can buy and place. Okay, in that when you buy them and place them, if you place them on a field, okay, if you buy them, place them on a field, or place them around the edge of a field, they do terrain sculpting. They will flatten the terrain underneath where you place the pallet, and they'll also remove the texture of the ground underneath the pallet and set it back to the old grass tech. You know you know before Giants added growing grass, paintable grass in the terrain menu, you just used to get like this horrible boring flat grass texture. I don't know if there is any anywhere. Stevie might. No, he's put normal grass this time on here where you had the football pitch. On Fenton Forest, it's a good example. His football pitch doesn't have the growing grass on it. It just has the old original flat map texture. Basically that's what it does. So if you spawn the pallets, like when you want seed, if you want to refill your seeder in the middle of the field and you buy the pallets and place them on the field, you actually end up with little squares where you've deleted and removed your field. So then when you plough the field, you have to plough the field with the create field option on to get rid of those squares. So yeah, if you're using the DD Mod Passions pallet mod thing, don't use it. Don't put pallets on or near fields. Place it on, you know, place it on dirt, on normal dirt ground or on concrete or wherever. Don't place it on terrain fields. Because it goes and causes edits. But I'll tell you what, I have been noticing some weird stuff, and not just with his mods, because like as well, his pallets. When I bought his pallets on Fenton Forest, I placed them all at the farm in a little area because we was obviously doing the initial seeding, fertilizing. Everything that you do when you first start a map, everything's crazy. You need your lime for every field after you've ploughed it. You need your seed for all your seeders. You need your fertilizer for all your fertilizers and sprayers and spreaders and everything. So I bought loads of pallets and just basically had like an area on the farm just full of pallets. And when we logged out of the server, and then obviously the server saved, and then at midnight when the server did its restart, we logged in the next day. Every single pallet that I bought had disappeared from the farm and had gone back to the shop, and there was just a massive pile of pallets at the shop, and it was like, that's a bit of a problem. Gonna have to go and fetch those. I had to take my trailer up to the shop and reload it with all my pallets and bring all my pallets back. And then I got the GTX storage racks, like the one we've got in here. So I had to I placed these things down to put the pallets into, to stop them from like disappearing to the farm, back to the shop every time we logged out. The only problem was with DD Mod Passions pallets, with DD Mod Passions pallets, I could not get them to respawn. When you came in here, click, and you selected the number of pallets, and then you wanted to have them reappear, the game wouldn't put the pallets back. The pallets would go into the rack, but you could not get them back out again. You couldn't get the pallets back out again. So I ended up having to remove his mods from the server to get functionality back. So it'll be interesting the next time I need to fill a seeder on this map, whether I can get the seed pallets out of that rack. Because my feeling is that Mr. Mod Passion is messing with all the pallets in the game, and it's just causing conflicts. Right, so I need to sell the eggs. I don't have the global company building open, market mod open, because again I forgot to switch that on first before loading into game, so I can't sell them there. US Mill has quite a lot of money. US Mill or County Mill? 564. Gonna be US Mill. US Mill, I know where that is. It's at the top of the map. US Mill is up here. That's not a problem. Dolores has gained, well, we've gained 2 fields, because obviously we bought field 20 recently, which has potatoes on it, which is going to be nice for us to harvest and get all the good stuff off, the potatoes off, our first root crops. And now global companies come out with this lovely leasing, field leasing mod or functionality. So now she can actually lease a field, which means we pay a little bit each day whilst we own the field, but we're not having to outlay, you know, $700, $800, $1 million in one go to gain access to a field, which was the problem, because we are making money very slowly on this Let's Play. In this series, I'm making money very, very slowly, and I don't mind that progression. You know, I don't mind slow progression and taking time to build up a farm and build up our save and everything. I know some people would sooner you be done and completed on a map in about 10 episodes, but that's never been my style. Never been my style. But yeah, we've gained quite a bit. And like I say, I do need to do some other bits and pieces. I do need to bring up bring some water up to the fertilizer factory. I need to fill that with water if I can, because then we need to start bringing, well, I can put compost. I think I can put compost into the fertilizer factory, or at least I could on Fenton Forest. So then that starts producing dry fertilizer, liquid fertilizer and herbicide, which is great. Saves me having to buy pallets of the stuff. Does mean, however, that obviously I would benefit from having a slightly bigger tanker, because that little trailer that I've got isn't cutting it. I might need to invest in a slightly bigger tank for transporting fluids and liquids. But that one's going to be useful, because that one, that tanker that we do have, that little tanker at the farm, is the only one which accepts the fill types from the Agraz mod for like the urea, acetic acid and that stuff, which we will be getting into, which is why I bought that little trailer and why I own that little trailer, because that's what we needed, because I needed to future-proof. A lot of the big trailers and the big tanker, they don't have all the different fill types. he could probably, people who add like I think people who add things like new fill types, like, you know, acetic acid, urea, even like for Stevie, who adds like, who's added like the long life milk, the H milk on this map. It would probably be beneficial if they used a script similar to what the guy who did the potato washer and premium potatoes mod uses, that retroactively goes back and adds those fill types to the map. It's a script that basically injects those added fill types into the map, so then that they automatically get added to the correct vehicles, the vehicles that use the fill types. Because otherwise you end up in a situation whereby you go to buy a tanker, like these universal tankers, and these will not do the acetic acid or urea. Because what the guy who did this mod chose to do was only add those fill types to his own little trailer. You know, he does that trailer or he does that trailer. We've got that one. Or we should have that one. Probably don't. I probably bought a different trailer. Which trailer did I buy? Is it in here? Yeah, it's that one. The Aquatrans. Yeah. That one does the long life milk, and so... But yeah, we need it. It needs to be done on. It needs all the mods. Any mod that adds a fill type or a product should have a script that injects it into the map's fill types. So then, you know, every tanker in the game, every liquid tanker in the game that uses, you know, the specific category in the fill types XML file of the map can then pick up those items. But that's it for today, folks. We've reached the end of this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please go ahead, click the like button for me. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments and questions and everything in the comment section down below. Share the video where you see fit with whoever you see fit, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon, as Dolores stands in front of her lovely newly rented field, which has lovely sunflowers on. Goodbye for now, folks.